Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Listen, I'm talking to you guys about Jackie and Josh. They broken up. They broken up. They broken up. They broken up. Now, am I excited for their breakup? Absolutely yes, because they should have never been together. Not because of Marshall, but because some of the behaviors I saw from Josh towards Jackie. She was about to be in a worse situation than she would have been with Marshall. Completely. We saw some things on the last two episodes after the altar that were really concerning for me, and I made a video about it. And I spoke about some of his behaviors: the joking, the throwing of fruit at her, the lack of care and affection that he was really showing to her. I knew that he wasn't ready for a relationship. I think he just wanted to win the battle with Marshall. I think he liked her, but I think there were some issues that he needed to solve out and work within himself. And there's also issues with Jacqueline too. It's a two-way streak. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like I'm gonna be like, oh, it's sad to see people break up. No, I don't want to see you together because I can see that you're unhealthy and you're not good for each other. And there's potentially long-term damage that's gonna be done if we don't solve out this short-term issue. You know what I'm saying? But before we go any further, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification uploads as well. We are trying to get to 100K by the end of the year. We're trying to do the impossible and make it possible with you guys. So please keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, and keep on, running with us, man. We appreciate it, honestly. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, baby. Listen, you got the minerals, baby. Stay hydrated because streets out there are hot. The streets are dangerous. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Let's talk about Jackie and talk about, obviously, Josh. We know their situation after the Love is Blind Marshall situation. She ended up ditching him for Josh, felt he was a better choice than Marshall. And I think she went back to what was familiar to her. Like I said about Jackie, the whole entire time was she hurt Marshall and used him because that is not what she's used to. That was something that she felt like she would have to elevate to get to that level. I'm not saying Marshall is the best person ever, but what I'm saying is he seemed to have a level of emotional maturity. He seemed to be of a certain level and caliber when it came to, expressing his feelings and expressing that in the form of a relationship. And what I felt from Jackie was she saw that and was like, I can't work to get to there. I can't see myself there. And instead of actually trying to make it work, she sabotaged, went back to what is normal and what's functional in her life and what she sees as familiar. And that familiarity is toxic behaviors. It is relationships that are not fulfilling. They're relationships that take from you rather than give and take. And that's where she found herself with Josh. And so here's a video of her talking about what actually happened, because you won't believe why they broke up. It's funny because we saw it in the after the altar, and the energy he had for a certain somebody makes you think.
And instead of ignoring it, like I was told by him, I ended up having a conversation with her, and then that's the reason why we broke up. Still sick about it, low key. I love that man. I was like, damn, I had all these life plans with you, and then you just don't even care. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, over a conversation with somebody that it don't matter. I tried to fix it. I tried to mend it. I did everything I could. And what's crazy is, like, looking back on these messages, like, I look like a begging ass bitch. And what's crazy is I never begged nobody to be with me. I ain't never been on no weird shit to where I'm like, oh my God, be with me. Oh my God, be with me. And, like, looking back in the messages, I'm, like, sick, like, throwing up, to where it's like, how am I begging? Like, that's crazy, but it is what it is. Monica. And instead of ignoring it, like I was told by him, I ended up having a conversation with her, and then that's the reason why we broke up.
So they broke up because she had a conversation with Monica. That's an element of control right there, if I've ever seen it. Because Monica didn't do anything. Monica wanted to have a relationship with her and converse and talk about the situation at hand. He tried to have a conversation with her. Now, Monica was a little bit irate, I'll admit that, and it wasn't going to be the most productive conversation. But let's be very, very honest. What's the big deal? The big deal was this. Josh actually had relations with Monica, not sleep relations, to a point where they were going to get married, which means you were in depth. You were indeed deep with her to a certain degree. You then cancelled it And I'm guessing maybe maybe it happened because of Jacqueline's situation. I'm not sure, whatever it was, but you didn't pull through. So there's obviously a story there. There's something deeper there that hasn't been discussed. There's something deeper that hasn't been analyzed. There's something deeper that hasn't been told in these scenarios. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, baby, why is it that you're dumping your girlfriend, Jack, over her talking to Monica and her trying to sort things out and maybe even have an understanding of what actually happened between the two of you? Is giving you're hiding something. It's giving that you're trying to prevent her from learning some certain truths. It's giving that you're not being transparent, you're not open, and you're not trying to be truthful about your extent of your behaviors. You can see her situation with Marshall. You were there, right? You were in the midst of it. You helped push it along, right? You let Marshall know that you're coming to take his gal right in front of his face, disrespecting another man, real talk. So now you're in a situation where you're looking at Jack and you're willing to dump her because she has a conversation with your ex, Monica. And it's not really ex because really and truly you weren't together, but you're willing to go and try and get married or engaged or whatever, or at the altar. Why? Now we saw the argument that happened after the altar where, you know, she was saying that she felt like he wasn't the right person for her. He didn't like Josh for Jackie. She felt like Jackie has been changing and it's not good vibes. And, you know, that, you know, there was a lack of courtesy there. Right. And for me personally, I just think to myself that if Jackie was willing to beg in this relationship, it should tell you how much of dysfunction and familiarity to toxicity that you like, Jackie. It should tell you that your esteem and your value and your worth is in the ground, like I've been saying from the time when she was with Marshall. Because Marshall was a cape man. He's trying to save you. Marshall was trying to raise your elevate your esteem and your worth, but not necessarily in terms of doing it in a healthy way. He was trying to do Superman behavior. He tried to save you. He couldn't do that. You end up going back to where you feel is comfortable, right? And then you go back to what's comfortable and you go to somewhere where the person doesn't even appreciate you. And now you're looking back at messages saying, I'm begging. And you say, I love that man. I need you to take a few more weeks off, really assess it, and maybe you won't come back saying, I love that man. Because in reality, let's keep it a buck. You were always in a situation where the person didn't care about you as much as you cared about them. It always looked like that. You know, I won't lie to you. It always did look like that. So for me personally, it's crazy to see how people. It's crazy to see how these two have actually ended up. We all knew it was going to happen. We all knew that this was going to be the case. I guess maybe I didn't think it would be this soon. I'll be honest with you. I did not think it would be this soon. So anyway, let me leave it as it is. I don't want to say too much. I want to leave it there. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of Jackie and Josh? Did you think they were going to break up this soon? What's your thoughts on this? Comment down.